Can you imagine carrying everything that you need to take a trip from Mexico to Canada? Can you imagine carrying everything on your back? 2,653.1 miles with everything on your back. That's why some people believe that your backpack is the most important gear that a hiker owns. Today I'm going to talk about all the backpacks that I used as I took my PCT trip from Mexico to Canada. I was on my PCT hike. I noticed some backpackers who were carrying backpacks as big as they were. I had been backpacking before, weekends and 2 and 3 day trips, and I knew what backpacks that I needed and what I didn't need, and some techniques concerning picking out a backpack. Before I get into the backpacks that I carried on my PCT hike, I want to give you some tips and some insight on what to look for as you pick out a backpack to take either on a section hike or an overnight hike or perhaps maybe a through hike. First, choose a pack to carry your gear, not your gear to fill your pack. Now, what do I mean by that? When we go to pick out a pack, we go down to the local outfitters, REI or whatever, and we see something that we like, a 70-liter pack, and we go back home and we start filling that pack with as much gear as we can find. The key is to go home, go through your gear, minimize your gear, only take the things that you need on your through hike, and then go to the outfitter and find a pack with that particular capacity to have all your gear to go in. The first backpack I got was a 70-liter backpack, and when I got that backpack home, I started looking for all the gear to fill up this 70-liter pack, when what I should have done is gone home and found all the gear that I absolutely needed, and then went to the store, outfitter store, and found the pack with the capacity, the liter capacity that I needed to put the list of gear that I had inside of that pack. So choose a pack to carry your gear, not your gear to fill the pack. Next, balance weight with functionality. A 20-liter pack with nothing but shoulder straps is light, but it's not going to be very functional for you. Choose the lightest pack possible with as much load-carrying features as possible. For example, find a pack that has an internal frame, a light but an internal frame to it. Also, you might want to look for load lifters, something that will pull the load closer to you. Another thing to look for is a hip belt. Your hips can carry a lot of the weight that your shoulders were not meant to carry. Choose the lightest pack possible, but make sure it doesn't scrimp on the load-carrying features. Next, get rid of the things that you don't need. A lot of backpacks come with what's called a brain. Get rid of that brain. Not your brain, but get rid of the pack's brain. You don't need that brain, all right? So get rid of it. All you're going to try to do is just fill it up with needless stuff. Many times backpacks require a pack cover in case it rains to keep the things that are inside of that pack from getting wet. What I've done is I've gone to a backpack that doesn't need a pack cover. It's a waterproof backpack. And so You don't need to carry that if you have a backpack that doesn't need a pack cover. There are some packs that come with trekking pole holders. You don't need things like that. You can just hold your trekking poles or stick them in the ground if you have to do something, if you have to use your hands for something else. And so get rid of the things that you don't need on your pack. And then lastly, avoid multiple compartments. For example, I know some backpacks have a compartment down at the bottom, a zippered compartment that you can put your sleeping bag in. You don't need things like that. Get a trash compactor bag, put it in your backpack, stuff the sleeping bag down at the bottom of it, roll it up, and if your backpack is waterproof in the first place, this will just be a redundancy of waterproofing technique. Basically, all you need is the main compartment, the two side compartments that are usually used for water bottle storage, and the main mesh pocket on the back of the pack. That's basically all you need, is those three things, and your backpack will help you to carry everything that you need on your hiking trip. I started out from Campo, California on my PCT hike with the Osprey Exos 48. I've used this pack for several backpacking trips before taking my PCT hike, and I love this pack. It's got small but real nice pockets on each side to keep different things in. It's got a mesh pocket here to keep water bottles on the side. It's got a real nice mesh pocket in the back of the pack. And then, of course, I took the brain off. You don't need your brain. And so I took the brain off. And, of course, it's got a real nice compartment on the inside to keep all of your stuff as you go hiking down the road. I'll get it out in just a minute. It's been repaired several times. I've gotten holes in it, but it's still a very nice pack, and I have nothing but good things to say about the Osprey Exos 48. By the way, this is the old version of the Osprey Exos 48 pack. They don't even make it this way anymore. They've taken the pockets off the side, and they've also reconfigured it in different ways. And so, but this is the pack that I started with on my PCT hike. When I got to Tehachapi, my back was injured, and I wanted to go home. In fact, I did go home for a while for two reasons. First of all, to get my back in better shape, to rest my back somewhat. And also, I wanted to wait for the snow to melt in the Sierra before I started off from there. I had determined that I wanted to get my pack weight and my overall setup weight lighter than what it was, and so while I was home, I ordered the Zpacks Arc Blast. It's a very simple pack, but basically I saved over a pound in weight, and so my goal of trying to get my weight down was achieved by one of the things by getting a lighter pack. What makes this pack unique and attributes to its lightness is the fact that it's made out of DCF material, Dyneema composite fabric, and it's pretty much waterproof. They say it's water resistant, but it's more like it's waterproof. The Arc Blast is a 55-liter pack, 42 liters for the main pack, 8 liters for the mesh, and 2.5 liters for the water compartments on each side of the pack, which makes a total of 55 liters. And the great thing about this pack is it weighs 21 ounces or 1 pound and 5 ounces. A very light pack, and as I said before, I lighten my load by over 1 pound by going from the Osprey Exos 48 to the Zpacks Arc Blast 55 liter. Got more liters, but I also lightened my load by 1 pound. In an effort to get my base weight down even lower, when I got to South Lake Tahoe, I purchased and I traded out the Zpacks Arc Blast for the Zpacks Nero. The Zpacks Nero is a 38 liter pack, and it weighs a mere 10.6 ounces, not even a pound. And so I saved even more weight by going with this pack, but basically all it is the main compartment, the mesh pocket on the back, the pockets that normally contain a water bottle on the sides. There's no frame to it. You use your sit pad as a frame, if you will, and no load lifters, and it didn't really come with a hip belt. I had to order that separately, and shoulder straps, and that's it. Now, because it was so light, there was a drawback to it, and that was that it did not carry a heavy load. Basically, all you could put was about 20 pounds in this before it became very, very uncomfortable. With 5 days worth of food and at least 2 liters of water in the pack, along with my base weight, it became very, very uncomfortable, and after the many miles of hiking in Northern California, it took a toll on my back, and finally my back was just basically killing me. By the time I got to Bend, Oregon, my back was just killing me. I felt like I had a knife in my back and even in my chest. It was that uncomfortable. Now again, the Nero backpack was fantastic. I loved it, except when you put about 5 days worth of food and water, a couple of liters of water in there, it just got very, very uncomfortable. And so when I got to Bend, Oregon, I went to a local outfitter there, and I was checking out some of the gear. Normally, I would have called my wife and she would have sent me the other pack that I had that was very comfortable, and that was the Arc Blast. But she wasn't available at the time, and so I had to purchase a brand new pack. And so what I did is I purchased the new version of the Osprey Exos 48. And I finished the PCT with this particular pack. Again, I love this pack. It has an internal frame to it, and it carried the weight of all the stuff that I had in here very, very comfortably. Again, the back mesh panel and the foam shoulder pads, and the big pockets for water bottle storage, and the back mesh panel for things back here in the back, and it's light, by the way. But if I had to do it all over again, if I had to hike the PCT all over again, I would probably start off and also finish with the Zpacks Arc Blast. I love that pack. It was everything that I needed. It was functional as well as light. These are the packs that I took with me on my PCT hike. And if you have a pack that perhaps maybe is your favorite, or something about your pack that you'd like to let other people know about it, leave me a comment down in the comment section below on this video, and tell us what you like about your pack and the things that helped you with it. Something else that I carried with me that was on the pack was this Thermarest Z seat, and it just attached to the back of the pack, and whenever I'd get to a place that I wanted to stop, I would just take this out, sit on it, and keep my bootay from getting wet, and was very, very comfortable. So if you're planning a through hike, or just a section hike, or an overnight hike, or whatever, if you have any questions about the packs that I carried, or if you have any questions whatsoever about any of the gear that I carried with me on my PCT hike. Please be sure and leave your question down in the comments section below. And until next time, I'll see you down the trail.